Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful, hot, sunny day here in Northern Virginia. Welcome back to Viking Metal Industries. Welcome back to Custom Cycle Studios. I know it's been a while, but today we're going to be doing a little stage 1 upgrade on my Roadking here. Got a Ultima 2-to-1 exhaust that we're going to review today, as well as a Vance & Hines Cage Fighter air filter that we're going to be installing on this guy. I've done a couple of other ergonomic modifications since you last saw this bike. So yeah, man, let's roll the intro card and get right into it. So, some stuff that I've done differently since we have seen the Roadking last is got some new floorboards on there, got rid of the ski sleds, found some nice passenger boards, got this stuff courtesy of Rob's Used Harley Parts up by Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. If you're in the area, hit them up. They've got a huge selection of used parts, takeoff parts. I think they be buying bad title bikes, stuff like that. They part them out. And they're a really big help for the community, and they're very fairly priced. I also picked up a factory seat off a marketplace for like $100, just so I had a passenger back seat for a while. I'd like to get like a road sofa or something, but that, you know, money and things, we'll get there. And the ever important classic Amazon backrest. I went with the one-piece welded together one, because for like the $90 or whatever this thing costs, what people were saying is that these with the welded on side plates hold up a lot better than the screw together ones. Fit the factory docking hardware pretty well. But yeah, so that's really all I've kind of done to the bike since y'all last saw it. Put a good, 1,000 or 2 miles on it now. So as part of everything, we're going to be doing an oil change. Because the bike did sit for 4 or 5 years, and I wanted to run a couple thousand miles and then just dump the oil out, get whatever gunk out of the engine. And now, to the creme de la creme. Over here, got a Vance & Hines Cage Fighter, I think this is the Cage Fighter Radiant air cleaner. These are pretty cheap. It was like $260 something on Parts Giant. Just so y'all know, any of these like circle style wide open air filters, doesn't really matter how expensive it is or who's making it. They all are going to work about the same on the dyno. They're going to give you about the same amount of power, plus or minus a little bit based off of surface area. But yeah, so let's get into the real reason I want to make this video, which is this Ultima exhaust. Cardboard out the way. This is an Ultima Dominator 2-to-1 exhaust setup. Hardware, head pipe, and the mufflator. So, if y'all will excuse my greasy paw prints that you might see. A couple of things I look for on these exhausts is, the quality of chrome, which this chrome looks, like a real nice quality. A lot of these cheaper exhausts, you get the heat shields in, and the pipe and everything looks all dented and machine pressed, and you can like see the seams and stuff, and nobody likes that. This bike, these pipes come with, oh god, let's take the heat shield off the head pipe here. This is our header pipe setup. So, the head pipe setup looks nice. I like that it's got this step up in the diameter of the pipe here. Supposedly that's to help with reversion on these. Ultima was making this pipe back when they were still their own company. I had tried to get one for one of my previous bikes, but they went out of business before then. And they have since been bought out by V-Twin. And V-Twin is making these Ultima products again. So I'm hoping that this works out and tunes out well on the dyno. I like that it's got wideband ports, as well as the stock size O2 sensor ports. Makes tuning a lot easier when I have these. So I'm pretty happy with the quality of the pipe itself. This is our muffler, nice straight through setup here. Supposedly you can turn this tip to be upward oriented or bottom oriented, and supposedly you can take out, there's like a 2-stage baffle in here, you can take them out. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see how this pipe works. I'm a firm believer that some of the best performing exhausts you can get are full-length 2-into-1s for your touring bikes and stuff like that. So this pipe retails at something like $650 from V-Twin Manufacturing. Now you do have to be a dealer of V-Twin, like our shop is, and tons of shops are. So, you know, you can usually just ask your local indie Harley shop to pick this up. But for 650 bucks, it's like 650 or 660, something like that. You can't beat that price. I mean, every other manufacturer out there is trying to sell a 2-into-1 exhaust for, like, especially the full lengths. Everybody wants over $1,000. I mean, I got customers coming in that have like $2,000, $2,500 exhaust pipes on their bikes, and that's fine and good. I'm not knocking that, but I can't afford that. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of other people, it's hard to throw out $1,000 or more just for an exhaust pipe, just to get a brand name, you know? So I'm hoping that this tunes up real nice. Let's see what kind of power gains we get. I mean, you know, a bone stock 103 with stock pipes is gonna make like 77 to 80 horsepower and like maybe 100 foot-pounds of torque. So we'll see what kind of gains we get out of this. Like I say, if it runs well, I'd like to start selling it to my customers as a budget alternative to the big name stuff for people that don't just kind of have that money. You know, my next concern is we're gonna see how it fits on the bike. So I'm gonna get the Roadking in the air and we're gonna get going. Okay, so as you can see, the factory exhaust off the bike, our intake's off the bike. So from here, I've already loaded new pipe with oxygen sensors and such things. So now we're gonna work it on back. Yeah, we're gonna work our way back onto the bike. Now, this motorcycle had a power commander on it that I have removed, primarily because I don't have a real need for it. I prefer tuning Harley-Davidsons with Power Vision, so I took that off. Gonna get our new gasketties in there. One thing I will say that I do like about this pipe is this is the first pipe in a while where I haven't had to thread tap the O2 sensor holes. I highly recommend doing that job on any of these. This pipe will come with a new mount for the trans door. Stick that in there. you're wondering why I have 2 sets of O2 sensors in the pipe, that's because I use my wide bands for tuning, and it just saves a little bit of time to just stick them in there before I do the thing. So we're gonna kind of hold this up here. Get our sensors to play with us. I kind of fish it in the bottom like that. Tight fit in the heads here, boys. Go ahead and set our nuts. Maybe nuts. Go. So far this thing's fitting on here pretty nice. Relatively easy to get the head pipe in, which not always is. It's not always on some of these one-piece headers. I should have, and I recommend to most people, and will sell for our customer bikes, I recommend getting a new set of nuts for your exhaust flanges. I kind of forgot to do that, but that's my fault. Oh yeah, perfect. We love that. Perfect. All right, so our flanges are on. Bolts are still kind of loose for fitment. We have our under cross member thingy on there. Now, I believe it's time to stick the muffler can on and see how it fits. Got our big clamp. Let's see how she does. Nice and easy. You give me so much hardware. Don't know why. Alright. This, there it goes. Alright. Muffler is on. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and tighten everything down. We start back and then go work our way front. Nice. I guess also A10. Yep. Weird as it sometimes is to have a bunch of metric shit on a bike. You kind of get used to the idea after a while, I guess. There we are. Too excited. Our twos. They need to go nice and easy. Now we're going to tighten down our head pipes. Perfect. Now comes the fun side. biggest problem I tend to have with these exhausts when I'm putting them on is always getting to this head stud here. Nice. All right. So now we go through and hand tighten them, make sure everything's good and tight, and then we'll clean up our pipe and move on to heat shield them. And with this front bottom exhaust nut, I will usually just grab a wrench and snug it down by hand. All right, so pipe's on, O2 sensors are hooked up. The next thing we're gonna do is start working our heat shields on. All right, so these clamps are a 7mm, which I feel like most people may not have, but just so you know, it's a 7mm. Loosen up our clamps. Now we're going to decide what direction we want our clamps to face. I usually face them down. You know, whatever is the easiest direction to get to with my stuff to tighten. And just be careful not to scratch your chrome. Just start fishing this stuff in. Alright. Fits pretty nicely, all things considered. One shield. Right. And yep. Alright, that is our Dominator pipe. Alright, and there it is. Our Ultima Dominator pipe fits pretty well. Alright, now we're going to get our air filter on the motor here. This is a pretty straightforward process. Nothing too crazy to think about here, just right. So, take and do here. Now for this job, you're going to use 7/16 wrench to tighten the screws onto this thing. The backing plate is kind of a 2-3 piece jobby if you count the gasket. A little awkward, but nothing too crazy here. this nice and tight. Stick our breather hoses on here. Bam, we're already almost done. Just gonna make sure I got all the plastic off of our little cover. Look at that, that's gonna be sexy. I think so. I think the 4 nut and bolt thing he's got going on, Advanced Hines does for these, a little goofy, but I don't know, I've seen worse. I don't know if this is better or worse than like the 5-spoke thing that a lot of companies do. These little cap screws are 5/32. And from here you just tighten down. So I'll admit the cover is a little flimsy on these Vance & Hines cage fighters. You know, I think they're a good intake for the money, but you know, you're not going to get, for that money, you know, you're not getting the nice CNC thing, you're getting stamped and cut steel. But if your concern is performance and not looks, then this will work perfectly fine for you. Now our last step is going to be cleaning up the exhaust real quick, getting our greasy handprints off of it. Windex works, a lot of just, you know, light duty cleaners will work for doing that. You don't want to get, you know, your paw prints burned into your nice shiny new exhaust system here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give her a wipe down. Wipe down this guy. All right, let's see what this thing sounds like. Alrighty, so this is the final result of the exhaust on the bike. Very nice looking, fit very well. And that's what our Vance & Hines cage fighter looks like. So let's see how she sounds. Gotta grab my key. Now, there's no tune on the bike yet, but we're gonna see what it looks like. That sounds nice. With that,
you got the tuning and a 2 sensor in there now.
I'm going to take a break for lunch. I'll come back, change the oil, throw this thing up on my dyno, see where it goes from there. See what kind of power we make. Apologize for the loudness of the fans behind me. I have tuning links set up and the bike ready to go here on the dyno, so we're gonna run a couple of tuning sessions and see where we land. Alright, so apologize again for the fan noise, but we have our tuning runs done. We did, I don't know, 5 or 6 tuning sessions on it, nothing crazy. I think I've got it dialed to right where I want it. So now I'm going to warm the bike back up. I've had it under the fans for 10-15 minutes cooling down, get it back to operating temp, and we will do our 3 pulls, see what kind of horsepower we're getting out of this baby. We have tuned, we have dyno runned, and now I will show you the results. I was kind of hoping for slightly more of a gain here, but you can see we're making out of this bike 82 horse at 104 foot-pounds of torque on our best run there. Now I would say that most bone stock with the super stock pipes for these 103 high output bikes, it's probably like 75 to 78 horsepower is what I usually see out of them, and generally like just under 100 foot-pounds of torque. So this one's turning just over 100 foot-pounds, just over 80 horsepower, and I'll call that a decent, modest gain. Now this has also freed up the throttle control, so the throttle control should read a lot closer to a 1-to-1 with the twist grip sensor and the actual blade in the intake, and we'll also take the speed limiter off of it and all that good shit too. So at this point, I'm gonna let the bike cool off for a bit so I can work on the exhaust, and I'll pull off my O2 sensors and disconnect it from the dyno, and we will take it for a test ride. God, I really hope it's recording. Woo, that's a nice sound. I like that a lot. A lot perkier. I like the tone of this exhaust. It's real nasty. Hell yeah, brother. Well, I really like the fit and finish of the pipe. Bolted up pretty easy. After the tune, the Roadking is feeling actually real good. Just a lot more responsive off the get. I'm pretty quite happy with that. Ooh. Slippery shit over there. Now watch out for those black lines in the concrete, man. It's twisting my front end around. Now I'll say this, the cam tune that I used from Dynajet was a tune for a Vance & Hines Pro pipe. I was hoping to find it on their website, like find a tune for like a D&D, like a Fat Cat or a Billet Cat, because I think that is structurally a more similar exhaust to what Ultima's put together here.
So that is what it is. It's definitely a more of a fuel efficiency tune. Looking at the AFR graph itself, you know, what I'm usually messing with is the volumetric efficiency table and stuff like that. But looking at the actual AFR reference graph that the bike uses, it's like whoever set that tune up was like, you're gonna have that 14.5 to 1 at your cruising RPMs, whether you like it or not. Which, I mean, is, I don't know, I guess I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but I could change it, but I kind of wanted to see how the bike would do like this. You know, I've got a couple of gas guzzler bikes and that kind of thing, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not stressing it that hard. Everything kind of came up on my AFRs real nice. So, you know, when you're cruising, you're getting that 14 point something to 1. When you're on the gas, you're getting closer to 13. If you're really on the gas, you're getting like 12.5 to 1. Well, let's head back to the shop and wrap up, huh?
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. Well, folks, there it is. Ultima Dominator 2-in-1 installed. And my final thoughts are, for 650 bucks, you can't beat it. It looks clean. It performs decently well. It's probably not going to outperform your Bassani Superbikes and your SP Concepts pipes, but does perform fairly well. We got a little bit of gain out of it. The Vance & Hines air cleaner is a nice little touch. It'll flow enough air for the motor and whatever else I want to do. So kind of the plan from here for this bike, get a tour pack for it, do some more ergonomic shit.
There's some cams in the future, yeah.
Yeah, put a cam in it.
Fun stuff.
Maybe do some neat stuff with some cylinders and pistons. I'm not sure yet. What I am sure of is this is a good pipe. I'm going to start recommending it to people that are looking for exhaust and that kind of thing.
Price point's excellent.
Yeah, you just can't beat the price point. Again, like, you know, in a world where every other full-length 2-in-1 costs $1,000 or more, this one's coming in at $650 to save, you know, guys like me that ain't got a lot of money's butts. Next time, probably be working on my iron head. But for now, it's hot. It's been like 90-something degrees out all day, which for Virginia is hot. And yeah, so bike's hot, I'm hot, the GoPro's hot. And yeah, everybody, have a nice rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching Viking Metal Industries.